before I respond, I want to ask you one thing. Was it a respectful discussion?
Yes, definitely. Alhamdulillah. I believe it was.
Have you been given ample time to
Yes,
present
yes.
yourself?
Jazakumullah.
So first of all, Razi, here's the thing, and I want people to listen because now this is the final turn with regard to the points we discussed. No, point number one is Razi said that did we ever claim that anybody has done this interpretation of Salabu, which we did? So I know you did not. Number one. Number two, why I was trying to point out this, the reason I have quoted already Mirza Ghulam, he said that you cannot give a meaning to the Quran which are against something that has been said already. So does it understand the point? It's not about saying something new. It is about saying something contrary to what has been said before. So this interpretation of Salabu, it's not only new, but on the top of that, it is contrary to what has been established before. And according to the Usul of Mirza Ghulam himself, it will be rejected. It is ilhad. Now that's one point. Second point is, then you try to discuss the ayah Adnan Bhai quoted. I have written response for that, but I would not go because our discussion is on the topic of Isa alayhi salam, so
Yeah.
I would not go in that detail.
Okay.
Last point I would say is this, Razi, that I want you to please tell me on this one. If we have on the one hand we have the Mujaddidun of 13 centuries,
Yeah.
and you know, Razi, the purpose of a Mujaddid, according to Mirza Ghulam said, as you know this,
Yeah.
is to revive the deen, the things which have been mistaken, misunderstood, to revive all of that. Now, the problem we are facing is as follows. Now, I'm going to say something extremely important. I request Razi Bhai and all of to listen. We have the Mujaddidun of 13 centuries standing on one side and a Mujaddid of the 14th century on the other side. And he is contradicting, not new, contradicting to the Mujaddidun of 30th century on the issue of Jesus being put on the cross. So it is not a new, it is contradiction now. A common sensical question is, why Allah, first of all, why Allah made them Mujaddidun if they were still teaching the wrong? Number one. Number two is, should we listen to the Mujaddidun of 13th century, which Mirza wants us to listen, or somebody who's coming later and contradicting all of them? Why should we listen to him?
Yeah. Imtiaz, can I get 1 minute to quickly address this,
Yes,
please? It's
yes,
really
please.
important. So, Jazakallah. So, the first thing is regarding the passage of Hazrat Ahmad, he says, Apne aap se kare. Then it's ilhad and tahreef, not if it's open to him by Allah the Almighty. This is a fine point you have to understand. Then you said you have 13th century Mujaddideen on one side and one on the other on this issue. You have to remember that amongst those Mujaddideen, there are so many ikhtilafat. They came for specific things to revive. Never did Hazrat Ahmad say that they came to revive every single aspect, because they themselves had contradictions amongst many things. Nabi Sassam said the 14th century Mujaddid will be not, sorry, I take that back. Nabi Sassam said that the Messiah and Mahdi will be Hakam and Adal. So he will decide who was right in what, who was wrong in what, through the revelation that he has given. And the last point I will say is the reason we will go with Hazrat Ahmad over those Mujaddideen is because Yaksir Salib was assigned to him, not the rest. If they were already going to say everything, what's the point of the Messiah? If everyone from the Mujaddideen were going to say the same exact things, we don't need any Messiah. There's no point of him. If everything's already said by the Mujaddideen, stop waiting for a Messiah. There's no need for him. And I end on that. Jazakumullah.
Okay, Razi, one question to you.
Yeah.
When Allah appointed Mirza Ghulam as the Mujaddid, in which year?
So there's ikhtilaf in this.
Give me something.
So my statement isn't official, but I believe, as of my minimum research till now, it's around 1874 to 5. That's my minimum research. I don't remember. It's 7 years before Ibrahim. Yeah.
No problem. So Mirza, according to your understanding and research, Mirza Ghulam was appointed as a Mujaddid in 1874. Why? To correct the mistakes of all the Mujaddidun. And when did he correct the mistake of death of Islam? In which year?
In 1890.
How many years in between that?
1875, 50, around 15. When Allah told him, he corrected.
No, not 15, not 15. Razi, do the math.
1874
to 1891 or 90. How many years?
1875 to 1890?
Yeah.
I don't know.
15 years? Okay.
That's what years, I said.
Okay, maybe I misunderstood. No problem. So, Razi, Allah appointed a Mujaddid to correct the mistakes of the previous, and it took him 15 years.
When Allah revealed it, he corrected.
Wait, Razi. I want people to understand as well.
Yeah.
In those 15 years, he was continuously receiving revelation. He was talking to Allah. He was receiving ilham and kashf, and yet he was saying things which were not correct.
This
right?
happens with every Nabi. I
No,
can
no,
give
wait, no, no.
examples.
We talk to every, but is it correct? Is it correct?
Just like Nabi Sassam was getting revelation, he
Yes.
still prayed for the Munafiq,
Razi,
and
my
then
point,
Allah corrected him.
Razi,
Yeah.
my point is for 15 years.
You're
You
right
can,
that Allah revealed
no,
it later. Yeah,
no,
I
no, no,
accept
wait,
that. Yeah.
my point is for 15 years, Allah appointed Mujaddid and he was saying things which were incorrect. Yes?
Just like that happens with everyone appointed by Allah. Yes.
Razi,
And
can
then
you give
Allah
us that?
corrected. Yes, and Allah corrected.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So
Like
now
with
I
every Nabi.
want people to
Yeah.
see this. When I raise the point of that, okay, we have the Mujaddidun of 13th centuries, they are saying something, and Mirza is saying against them, not you, against them. And then you said that is the whole point. The Mujaddid of the, and by the way, why did you take that back? Because Mirza said clearly the Masih Maud will be the Mujaddid of 14th century. You know
The
this.
reason
Okay.
the reason I took it back, if you allow me to explain now,
Yes,
is
yes.
because there is something called Isharatun Nas. There's a hadith of Nabi Sassam, Al Ayatu
I got it.
Ba'd al Miyatain.
I got it.
Ulama have said it's
I got
14th
it. Wait,
century
okay, I
based
got
on
it.
the
That's how
hadith,
you
but I
put
know
no problem.
you misquoted a lot and you can easily
Okay,
click
wait.
this and say I'm
Razi,
saying
okay, I got
word
it.
for word in hadith.
Razi, I
That's
got
why I
it.
took it back.
I
Not
got it.
that I
I
don't
got it.
believe in it. It is
On the
there.
one hand, the Mujaddidun of 13th centuries, you know, you admit it, they were preaching falsehood. Number on this issue, on this
They were
issue, on this
mistaken
issue.
on this issue, yes.
Obviously, on this issue, because
Preach it though. This is a mistake. They didn't go around preaching this issue. It was
they were preaching something which was because Quran says, according to Mirza and you, Quran says Jesus has died. And the Mujaddidun of 13th centuries, without exception, they were preaching that Jesus has not died.
no, this
Okay?
is wrong. This is wrong. I didn't. It wasn't put on the cross, Imtiaz bhai. We're
Okay, so no
discussing the
problem.
cross. They said
Okay.
he died. I
No
can show you
problem.
many
Let's
mujaddideen
come to this
who
one.
said he
Let's
died.
the Mujaddidun of 13th centuries, they were saying Jesus was not put on the cross,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes,
they were wrong in that.
yes.
Okay. And then you said that the whole point was that Mujaddid of the 14th century, Masih Maud will correct them. Okay, he was appointed according to you as a Mujaddid in 1874 or 75, as you said, and up for 15 years, he was preaching wrong as well. So it did not solve any problem. Listen, those people who died in that time when this Mujaddid was already preaching wrong. Okay, look
He
at
never
this one.
said Isa was put on or not put on the cross in those writings. You have to show
Anyhow,
that. I haven't read it. No, you have to take this back, Imtiaz, because
What?
you said for 15 years Hazrat Ahmad al was claiming that Isa al was not put on the cross. I
What did
haven't
he
read
claim?
this.
Wait,
He said
wait.
Isa's alive. He said Isa's
That's
alive.
it.
These are
That's
two
it.
different things.
When Mirza Ghulam was saying that Jesus is alive,
Yeah.
okay, was he receiving revelation from Allah?
Yes.
Why did he say this?
That statement he didn't say based on revelation.
As you know, Razi, on everything on which he was changing his position, later on he would say, oh, this part was not from revelation. Now, you tell me, when he was writing Burahini Ahmadiyya, the 4 part, what did he say? He said, I have not put anything in this book from my own opinion. I have put, and by the way, you know this, Razi,
Yeah.
the Burahini Ahmadiyya was presented to Nabi Muhammad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it was called Kutubi, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
This doesn't mean everything is right in
No,
there. He
wait,
never
wait.
claimed this ever.
You
Nabi
show to
Sallam
me-
says, "Wama yantiqu anil hawa
Brother
in huwa
Yamani,
illa wahyu
sorry,
yuha." But
sorry,
he's
Razi,
still
all I'm saying is when Mirza Ghulam was writing all of those things,
Yeah.
he has those lofty claims. Later on, when he changed his position and he
based on wahi.
has to take few things back, then he started to say that, oh, I did not receive revelation on that.
People
so this
say
does not.
for every
That's
Nabi. I
fine.
agree with.
We
I
can go
agree.
on and on.
This is based on every prophet. Yeah, I agree with.
With you, Razi, I want to again end with the
Jazakumullah.
same thing, with the same thing which we started. Not a single mufassir has done the tafsir with regard to the first point of your Aqidah, and
Yeah.
that was Jesus was put on the cross. On this issue, we have established, you have conceded.
We have
Mirza
never
Ghulam-
claimed it, so I didn't concede anything.
Wait.
We
That's
never
fine, that's
claimed
fine.
it.
But do you concede that Mirza
Every
Ghulam,
Ahmadi does. We've never claimed it,
Razi,
brother.
allow me to finish this last
Yeah.
point, Mike?
Okay.
Because I want to see people that we are not just making the claims, they are with the evidence on the issue, because your Aqidah with regard to death of Isa is we break down in the 5 points. We have discussed with you first point. On that first point, no Mufassir agrees with Mirza Ghulam. Right? Now, last point before
Allah
you leave, Razi.
to him, yeah.
Last part before it. In the rest of the 4 points, which you know I mentioned already, it is same thing. Basically, the Aqidah is made up of 5 things, and it is not just first point. On none of those points, you have any Mufassir to agree with you.
And we never claimed any did. You have to add this as well.
And it proves because if something is made up of 5 things, okay, and we can prove all of them 5, or innovation. Okay, what else is left there?
Based on claimant of revelation. You have to add
Somebody
that.
can claim that.
Yeah, that's
Somebody
fine.
can
We
claim
agree with you, bhai. There's no ikhtilaf on this. We believe Allah opened these things to Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam. Otherwise, we should stop waiting for someone. If everything the Mujaddideen have said, yaksiru salib, yaqtulul khinzir, why don't we do it ourselves, right? There's no need.
Did Mirza, okay, before you go, I know it may start something new. Did Mirza correct everything on which the Mujaddidun were wrong?
Everything that Allah had to correct, Allah corrected through him. Yes.
Do you know Mirza was last Mujaddid?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Mirza Ghulam said that he is the Akhri Mujaddid. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, he was the last Mujaddid. He must correct all the mistakes of the previous one, right?
Nabi Sassam say every little thing would be corrected. Generally, we have the true Islam in every angle, but this does not mean that the Mahdi was
Razi.
he corrected the ikhtilafat, but this doesn't mean that a Khalifa can't come and today say the Muslims have this disagreement. This is the true claim because it's Khulafa. He
Okay.
also explained
Razi, I end with this one. I
Yeah.
end with this one because you gave an impression that this was the whole point of the last Mujaddid to
Yaksir
correct the
Salim.
previous one, and I am making a claim. He did not correct the previous one on all the mistakes. This
We
is my
never
claim.
claimed this because Khulafa were to continue
What is the
that
point?
one.
Okay, look,
The
look,
point
look.
is the
What
point.
Nabi says said he would correct, he corrected.
Hold on a second.
This is the
Razi,
point,
Razi,
right? When Nabi
Razi.
says prophesied,
Razi.
he fulfilled.